What's up, my Mind Your Money business folks? It's me yet again with another video on today's stock market news. I'm a little late, but yeah, today's stock market. Uh, and as always, hopefully you're in the market and not trying to time the market because that is simply impossible to do. So what happened today? It says S&P 500 posts fifth losing day ahead of Powell's speech. The Dow drops 150 points. So let's see what happened in the market today. It says the stocks fell broadly on Thursday with the S&P 500 sliding for a fifth day in a row as traders look to the Federal Reserve Jerome Powell speech on Friday. So the broad market index shed 0.4%, while the Nasdaq Composite slid 0.34%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 0.34%. So investors are looking to hear from Powell at the central bank's annual economic symposium in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where he could offer insight into the path of interest rates that could offer some reprieve about persistent inflation concerns. So Fed funds futures are pricing in a nearly 74% likelihood of the central bank cutting rates at its next policy gathering in September, according to the CME Watch tool. The CME Fed Watch tool. So minutes from the Fed's July meeting showed policymakers are worried about the state of the labor market and inflation, though most agree that it was too soon to lower interest rates. So Fed Governors Christopher Waller and Michelle Bowman dissented against holding rates steady, marking the first time two board members have done so since 1993. So that's interesting. So stock valuations are very elevated right now heading into Jackson Hole, and investors have very high expectations that Powell will hint at a September rate cut, said Rick Gardner, Chief Investment Officer of RGA Investments. Anything short of that could push investors to take some chips off the table, especially given lighter August trading volume and a reluctance for risk heading into a weekend. Yeah, and so I also believe that August is not a good investment month per history, when it comes to investments. So what I'm reading is investors may take money off the table because a lot of money has been made this year or within the last 6 months. So they may take some profit off the table, especially if there's no hint of interest rate cuts come September. It also says here Walmart shares dipped more than 4% after the retailer missed the street's expectation for quarterly earnings, a first since May of 2022. The company reported sales that surpassed estimates. However, the market this week has been pressured by a heavy bout of tech selling. Investors took its profits from high-flying names including NVIDIA, Palantir, and Meta platform. The S&P 500 was off 1.2% week to date, while the Nasdaq lost 2.4%, and the 30-stock Dow headed for a roughly 0.4% decline in the period. So yeah, people are just taking money off the table. There's nothing wrong with NVIDIA. There's nothing wrong with Palantir. There's nothing wrong with Meta, the company itself. They just took profits off the table. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm still investing into these companies. So let's see what happened in the market today. So my information technology ETF FTEC lost 45 cents today, closing out at $202.91. NVIDIA lost 42 cents today, closing out at $174.98. Tesla lost $3.79 today, closing out at $320.11. It's interesting, Tesla. I only say interesting when it comes to Tesla because it seems like every other car here in Hawaii is a Tesla. They love Teslas here. Actually, when I was walking out of this parking lot, there was a Cybertruck. This female was parking her Cybertruck. Anyways, Palantir gained 17 cents today, closing out at $156.18. Broadcom lost $1.57 today, closing out at $289.60. My S&P 500 ETF SPLG lost 30 cents today, closing out at $74.77. Meta lost $8.62 today, closing out at $739.10. Apple lost $1.11 today, closing out at $224.90. That's pretty much it. Not a whole lot going on in the market today. That's it. Quick, fast, and hurry. Even though the video is late, there's not a lot to talk about. As always, hopefully you guys are getting out of debt, getting out of personal loan debt, student loan debt, credit card debt, car loan debt. Get out of all forms of debt, because as long as you are in debt, you're inhibiting yourself from investing into your future, into your family's legacy. It keeps you from investing into the stock market, right? So get out of all forms of debt. When you start, well, the only way that you can get out of debt is by creating a plan, and that plan is called a budget. And within that budget, you will start telling your money where to go each month, what debt to tackle, so you can stop trying to figure out where all your money goes. When you create this budget, you will more than likely find free money. You will stop going out as much, stop eating out as much, stop shopping as much, start just making the necessary changes to free up the cash that you work so hard for, to start tackling your debt, so it can stop inhibiting you from investing into yourself and into your future. Either way, when you create this budget, you stop all forms of investment, start tackling your debt, listing them from smallest to largest, regardless of interest rates. And then as you pay off these small loans, you free up more money, which causes what we call the snowball effect. The more money you have to start tackling the next debt. And as you pay that debt off, the more money you free up to tackle the next one, so on and so forth. I think you get the picture, right? And once you pay off all of your debt, it may take you a couple of years. Then you can start investing 15% of your income back into your retirement fund. Now you can also create a 3 to 6 months of living expenses, which is called your emergency fund for emergencies. Car tire, hot water heater, roof leak, so on and so forth. You can also start investing into your kids' college fund, the 529 plan. And then if you have a mortgage, you can start tackling your mortgage. If you don't have a mortgage, that's fine. You can rent. If you would like to have a mortgage, save up to 20% of the value of the property that you're purchasing, put it down on that home, and finance for 15 years. And that's it. So I'm going to end this video here because I'm tired and I'm hungry. But either way, I just wanted to come on here and right quick and do this video for you guys. So as always, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Let me know what you think. If you think anything at all, yeah, continue to do great things. All right, you guys take care. Peace.